All right, man. $21 billion.
I know.
$21 billion at stake for the NFL. The NFL is in trouble.
Yep.
This is the real deal. This is a potential catastrophe. And you have said that not many people are really talking about this.
Yeah, not at all. I wonder if it's on purpose too, maybe, just
think
not
so?
very much media coverage. I haven't heard too much about it. Have you? I mean,
I've seen clips
Okay.
here and there. I mean, you have kind of the traditional reporters that are talking about it in the media, like Yahoo, what is it, like Yahoo Sports, maybe reporters on Fox or whatever. But I mean, I'm not on Twitter, so you tell me.
Not at all.
Nothing.
Not at all. I saw like a tweet by Front Office Sports. This is what they do. So
Yeah.
besides that, nothing.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy.
People really don't know what's going on.
They don't know what's going on, but
hey, that's why we're here, bro. You're going to educate these folks. So
exactly.
Let's do it.
Exactly. All right. Well,
so what's at stake? What's going on? Break it down for us.
All right. So first of all, the NFL is being sued. Actually, the NFL has been being sued for quite some time now.
Okay.
So they've been fighting this lawsuit since 2015. In 2015, there was a small sports bar in San Francisco that filed a lawsuit against the NFL, claiming that NFL Sunday Ticket, which is the out-of-market packages that it sells, was overpriced. Right?
Gotcha.
It was inflating its prices, and it was reducing the amount of optionality that consumers could have to access these out-of-market games in the NFL.
Okay, gotcha.
So that case went on for about 2 years, and then in 2017, it was dismissed. Then the case was reinstated in 2019.
By who? Same people?
It was a judge. It was a judge in a California court.
Okay.
I don't have the specific judge's name, but it was I think it was the Ninth Circuit Court, right,
Okay,
in
gotcha.
California. I'm not a legal expert, so.
And when you're saying they overinflate the prices, do you have how much were they charging? And
Yeah, so I actually don't know because it was such a long time period. So the lawsuit, the complaint is that that prices were being inflated from 2012 to about 2022, right before YouTube TV took over the rights offering. Okay, so it was DirecTV. Yeah, DirecTV was the sole or the exclusive provider of the NFL Sunday Ticket package. And, okay, so that's the main complaint. So the case was reinstated in 2019, kind of lingered on for a bit, and then last year something big happened. In February of 2023. The lawsuit was reclassified as a class action lawsuit.
Gotcha.
Right? So that means that not only is an individual entity that's suing the NFL anymore, it's now a collection of people and businesses. And if you want the specific number, it's 2.4 million households or residents in combination with 48,000 businesses in the state of California.
Damn.
So now all of them together collectively are suing the NFL for the same exact complaint, which was, again, NFL Sunday Ticket was its prices were overinflated for a long period of time, and the access to the package was restricted only through DirecTV, which is considered an anti-competitive practice, at least in the eyes of the plaintiffs or the people who are complaining.
Okay, so how the hell do we get 2.4 million people like on one page, on one accord? Like,
Yeah,
is there
honestly,
one person like leading the charge?
That's a
like,
great
what the
question.
hell
I
is
actually-
going on, bro?
Honestly, I don't know how that came together,
Okay.
but usually when this happens, someone is leading the way, right? There's
Of course,
probably a lawyer, or a group of lawyers, or a group of people who decided to organize and
Lobby,
maybe survey.
call,
Yeah,
yeah.
just kind of gather the troops and be like, hey, we're taking this on. Were you hurt too? Did you have to pay out of your ass to access
Mhm.
this too? Well, come join us. Sometimes actually the way it works, and this has happened to me at home, I'll get a random like piece of mail at my door, and it'll be like, oh, class action lawsuit against this corporation.
You've been affected by XYZ.
Yeah,
Join us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how it happens. And
Okay.
people are like, well, you know what? I was kind of paying a lot of money for that
Maybe I'll
package.
get a little bit of cash.
Maybe
right?
I'll
Yeah.
get a little bit of cash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
speaking of the cash, right? So they want $7 billion in damages.
Damn.
The businesses and the residents. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, we started and we said $21 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
So where's that extra 14 come from, and what the hell?
Good question. So what happens in an antitrust lawsuit or antitrust case is that the penalty is tripled by the government, depending on the damages, the initial amount of damage.
I got you.
Right. So $7 billion times 3, that's $21 billion.
Damn, man. Damn.
Yeah, crazy.
Could you envision the NFL truly having to lose $21 billion? Like, is that a realistic outcome? Because I always feel like these major corporations always find a way out of the worst possible case scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the NFL, bro. They could hire the best lawyers in the world. Like,
Mhm.
what are the odds? Like how strong is this lawsuit, and like, where do you think we're at?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I can't tell you in odds.
Okay.
And this is a part of the reason why I think it hasn't caught much steam yet in the public eye, even though it should be, because fun fact, this is the farthest that the NFL has ever gone in a lawsuit.
Wow.
Usually what they do is they settle the lawsuit before it even goes to trial or before it's even considered to go to trial, right? So the last lawsuit that the NFL dealt with was actually when they relocated the Rams from St. Louis to Los Angeles.
Wow. Okay.
They paid St. Louis $790 million
Damn.
in damages, and they settled the lawsuit there, and that was it. And they didn't let it. That was it.
That's a lot of money, bro.
It is a lot of money.
That is crazy.
But it's nothing compared to $21 billion.
And why haven't they been able to settle?
It's a good question, because I think that the damages that the plaintiffs are seeking are so high monetarily that it's, the NFL is reluctant to just pay that settlement up front, because they're going to have to pay a few $billion to settle it right now. At least that's my assumption. If they wanted to get this case closed once and for all, they would have to settle at a really high price. And think about this. This lawsuit has been going on since 2015. So almost 10 years they've been fighting it secretly.
Wow.
Just slowly, kind of quietly
chipping away. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, bro, like, is it just monetary like ramifications, or are we looking at more? Like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Because something doesn't sound right. Like, it can't just be cash.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be more to it.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it, man. And I think anti-competitive or antitrust is the key word here.
Okay.
Where do I even begin, man? Let's start here. First of all, this is a potential catastrophe, in my opinion, for the NFL. This is terrible. This is not good, because it's threatening their entire media rights framework. Okay. And you and I both know the NFL makes a fuck ton of money from their broadcasting deals. Actually, that's their highest revenue generator among everything else.
When you look at the pie, that's the biggest.
By a long shot.
Really?
It's the bulk of the revenue. They make what? They make $10 to $11 billion guaranteed every year because they signed a broadcasting deal with all of their partners.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's so we're talking about that's potentially at stake. And some people might hear that and be like, well, what are you talking about? We're talking about NFL Sunday Ticket. So let me just take a moment and explain.
Right.
Do you know what NFL Sunday Ticket is?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. It like you said, it was just given to YouTube TV, or at least YouTube TV just bought the rights to it, right?
Yeah.
Before it belonged to DirecTV. And that's all I really know about it. I know that they offer every single game available, right? Like you can
kind of. And actually, I think you would know. I think once I explain it, I mean, you know it obviously, but I think once I explain it, you'll be like, oh, this is a lot like NBA League Pass. It's actually the same thing. It's almost like the same thing.
Okay,
right?
so I'm assuming with Sunday Ticket, do they still kind of have like the blackout issues?
Yep. Oh yeah. Blackout restrictions are huge, and it's really interesting you bring that up, is because that's one of the ways that the NFL supposedly protects, right? It's broadcasting partners.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, same thing, right? Okay, so NFL Sunday Ticket, man. It's funny. I've never even had a subscription before. I mean,
me neither.
There's other ways.
Me neither.
There's other ways to watch.
Yeah. Thank you, Stream East. But anyways, moving on.
You might have to cut that out.
Yeah.
No. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what's that?" Shit, it's lagging now. Fuck. Right. So NFL Sunday Ticket is basically a package that the NFL concocted in 1994. They're like, okay, there's a lot of fan demand, right? There's fans who have moved away from their hometown. Okay, let's just say I'm an Eagles fan. So let's just say I used to live in Philadelphia and I used to watch the Eagles games.
Cool. Okay.
And then I moved away, and all of a sudden my local television station doesn't play Eagles games anymore, right? And I'm like, well, damn, like I want to watch the Eagles play every single week, no matter who they're playing, no matter where they're playing, right? Let's just say I live in Seattle, so I live across the country. So the NFL heard the fans, and they're like, okay, we have an opportunity to appeal to fans and at the same time make more money, right?
Right.
Classic fashion.
Of course.
So what they did is they said, okay, we're going to package all of the out-of-market games and we're going to sell it exclusively. So we're going to sell it as a separate package than what consumers would already have to pay to watch the nationally televised games and in-market games, right? Where you can turn on your local television station and be like, the game's on right now.
Okay.
Right?
So Sunday Ticket was birthed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So DirecTV had the rights for Sunday Ticket from 1994 all the way up until 2022.
Damn.
And they were paying when they first got the rights, they were paying $700 million a year just for out-of-market games, by the way. These are not nationally televised games.
I mean, are they making profit on that?
That's a great question. I don't know if DirecTV did specifically.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if they did or not, honestly.
But I mean, that was their whole selling point at one point. It's
Yeah.
like, what, biggest sport in the US.
Mhm.
And, if you want to be able to access this,
Exactly.
you can only do it through us, right?
Exactly.
So it was like their biggest selling
So
point.
to them, it was
I get
worth it. It was worth it. It's like, hey, we're going to pay the $700 million a year, which eventually turned into $1 billion a year in 2010, which then eventually turned into $1.4 billion a year up until 2022.
Bro, I just don't envision like DirecTV of all companies being able to pay that. Like that is just crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, DirecTV is a huge company. It's one of the largest satellite. It's called what's it called? DBS. So it's direct broadcast satellite provider.
Gotcha.
Right. So they're one of the biggest in the U.S. Like, did you ever have a satellite attached to your apartment? Or like in your balcony?
I had DirecTV. My dad had DirecTV when we were growing up. So like we had the whole thing and everything. So like I know, but it makes sense. When you're thinking back then, before YouTube TV was even a thing. Yeah, this dominated. DirecTV almost, was it not like the leading?
I would probably
cable
say
company?
So. Yeah,
probably.
I mean, probably because of that, right? And of course, they're probably selling other packages as well.
But that's their biggest selling point. Like that's their biggest package for sure.
Sports,
for sure.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
I mean, like there's a reason why all of these media companies pay out of their ass for the rights, for NFL rights, for NBA rights, for all these like major sports leagues. It's because sports is untouchable in terms of it's the most successful, most entertaining genre in all of entertainment, no question about it. And that's actually another conversation we could have as to why that is. It's fucking fascinating.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So you can only understand, right? It's like, of course, it's going to pay this much money. Cool. So DirecTV had the rights, and the lawsuit is pertaining specifically to that time period, as I mentioned, which was from 2012 to 2022. Again, Sunday Ticket was super inflated. People were like, why the hell do we have to pay hundreds of dollars? I think that was the price point at the time. Don't quote me. To just watch out of market games, right? Like we're paying for a separate package than nationally televised games. And that's already on top of the amount we're paying for the service, just to have TV in the house. Imagine you have to pay for DirecTV just to watch cable, right? Or just to watch networks.
And the extension.
And then the extra package, right? Which is how all the cable networks, including ESPN, which we're going to talk about in a separate segment, how they make their money, right? Like how HBO makes their money is they charge those extra subscriber fees on top of your TV service, right?
That makes sense,
and there's a whole history behind that too, which is extremely fascinating as well. So that's what the lawsuit is about, right? The consumers are saying that we shouldn't have to pay this much money to watch an extra few NFL games, right? And I don't have the prices for what they were during the DirecTV era, but I'll give you some context, bro. And we both have YouTube TV, so we understand how much we're paying a month, right? We pay for the base plan for YouTube TV.
Yep.
Doesn't come with Sunday Ticket.
Of course.
You gotta pay. You gotta pay extra. You know how
much?
Do
you know the price? No.
Oh, I know the price for Sunday Ticket.
Yeah. What is it?
Well, if you have a YouTube base plan, YouTube TV base plan, it's $350.
Damn.
$350.
That's not even worth it.
And if you don't have YouTube TV base plan, you just want to buy Sunday Ticket, it's $450.
Bro, that is not even worth it.
For like 4 months of weekly games. 4 months.
Like just get NFL Red Zone.
Yeah, well, if you want to get actually, thank you for mentioning that. If you want Red Zone, if you have a YouTube TV plan, right? You want Red Zone and you want Sunday Ticket, you got to pay $390.
Damn.
So they're charging extra for that. And they do the same thing if you don't have a YouTube TV base plan, which is it's about $490 for Sunday Ticket and Red Zone.
Not even worth it, bro. That is not worth it. Red Zone, worth it. But nah, bro.
Crazy.
Nah.
It's crazy. And so that reaction right there is exactly the reason why they're filing a lawsuit.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting, man? I didn't realize this, but there's a whole different way that the NFL sells Sunday Ticket to businesses.
So like bars and like restaurants.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, think about it. You walk into like a poppin' sports bar.
They probably charge the fuck out of them.
Oh, they do. They do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a second, bro. So imagine like you walk into a sports bar, they got hella TVs up there. They're playing every fucking football game that you can think of, right?
Yeah.
It costs money to do that, right? They can't. So first of all, it's illegal or it's a violation of the NFL's terms of services if they use YouTube TV to do that. They can't use YouTube TV to do that.
Why?
Because YouTube TV is meant for residential customers. It's meant for people like you and me, not for large businesses.
So what are they supposed to use?
So what they do, so I didn't know this. This was very recent. I think in 2023, right after YouTube TV gained the rights to sell NFL Sunday Ticket, the NFL partnered with a firm called Redbird Capital Partners. That's
Okay.
a huge private equity firm that focuses on sports investments. Actually, they're probably invested in a few NBA teams as well,
Okay,
which we don't fucking even know about, right? And they partnered with them and they said, hey, let's create another vehicle, another entity, another business vehicle owned by the NFL. It'll be a partnership between the two. So it's between the NFL and Redbird. And this vehicle will specifically be dedicated to selling to these businesses.
Okay.
Okay. It's called Everpass Media.
Okay. Gotcha.
Everpass Media. Okay. So
They're
now,
the middleman.
in a way, yeah. But it's a way for them. It's called what we would say is like a B2B motion, right? So it's business to business motion, right?
Okay.
YouTube TV is a B2C motion. It's business to consumer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Business to customer, right? Okay. So yeah, and so they made this. I was like, oh wow, bro, this is why the NFL is such a controversial league, but at the same time,
That's
they're
why
just
they
very
make so much money.
bro. They
monetize every little thing.
They found a way to monetize the same product in like 4 different ways.
Genius.
It
I
is
mean, call
genius.
it what it
It
is.
is-
It's genius, bro.
Yeah, it's
You got to
brilliant.
respect it,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
but anyway, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, okay, I'll give you. How much do you think a business has to pay? And yeah, how much?
Okay, so is this for the entire season? Are they paying for the entire season?
It's for the
Are they-
package. So it's like whatever you would pay as a consumer. Like so, for example, we would pay $350 if we have YouTube TV.
$350 a month.
No, no.
$350
It's
total.
in total.
Okay.
It's in total. For
Okay.
over. But think about it.
Still
it's
not
for 4
worth it.
months.
Still
of
not worth it.
football
But yeah.
Of like, right, and it's only on Sundays. So you're like you pay less for Netflix by far.
Yeah.
You pay less for YouTube TV by far, and you get way more unlimited content.
Right.
Okay.
No, I
So-
agree.
Yeah. So how much do you think businesses pay?
Ooh, the whole package probably $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Actually, it's 10,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it makes sense because, like, and I'm not saying that it's right, but
Yeah.
you think about it, bro. You monetize the entire Sunday off of saying our restaurant has every single game.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like
Exactly.
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
a
You
little
make
bit,
the investment
know?
and you say, "Hey, we're the only one on the street that's doing this."
But see that to me, I mean, that's profitable, right? I mean, they're making money.
Yeah. Restaurants. I mean, I'm not gonna go
$10,000
to
for a
rant.
whole season. You get
4 months
from
out of market games.
okay,
bro.
fair.
That's
fair.
not even including the price they have to pay for cable television or satellite TV.
fair. And I'm just playing devil's advocate, okay? Because I'm not. I mean, it shouldn't be that much. Period.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
let's just say
Yeah.
that's 1 to 9 on a Sunday, or if you want to say 11, if they include the Sunday night games there
They
at
don't.
the restaurant. Okay, so it'd
Well, it's not included in the Sunday ticket package.
Okay,
it's only
okay,
out
so
of
it's
market
1 to
games.
7.
NBC's not included in that.
okay, gotcha. So it's
Yeah.
just 1 to 7.
I guess that's the yeah.
Okay, so one, because the 1 o'clock games in the East Coast, at least the 1 o'clock games, and then the 4 to 7
Mhm.
o'clock games, right?
Mhm.
So I get it. I mean, I get it. It's not a good price, but I mean, you're probably profitable because of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you call yourself a sports bar.
Yeah.
But also, like, the NFL has you by the nuts because they say, like, well, we're just going to charge you what we want to charge you. You're the one that needs it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. So okay. I love that you said that actually because that's exactly what the NFL is actually arguing in court. They're saying, "Hey guys, this is supposed to be a premium offering. This is not supposed to be for the everyday customer or consumer or business. It's only tailored for the people who can afford it." And you might think, why the fuck would they argue that in court? And they're like, well, what they're saying is like we made this intentional from the day we concocted the Sunday ticket. And there's a deep explanation behind that, right?
Mm.
And it's what I had told you before this conversation, which was the fact that they're trying to protect Fox and CBS because they have partnerships. They have media rights deals with both of them for all of the Sunday afternoon games. So what's crazy is this. They release Sunday ticket, but the games that you're watching, the rights to the games that you're watching are still owned by CBS and Fox. They're just
Right.
not nationally
Hold
televised.
on. Does CBS and Fox get a cut?
Yes, they do get a cut.
Okay, so
No, they don't get a cut of the Sunday ticket revenue. Well, actually, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Right? But here's the thing, they're already paying for the rights of those games, right? So
Yeah.
this is where it's an interesting question. Things get a little confusing.
Yeah.
A little interesting.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
the NFL actually has a base to argue, like, it's fair, fuck y'all.
And they are. And they're also saying DirecTV was the one who decided to charge them that much.
Ooh, blaming them.
It's come on, bro. You know that's such bullshit, bro.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
They're all
Okay.
colluding. They're all
Of
colluding.
course.
Fox and CBS are like, you better charge that much. We want the least amount of people to pay for this and to use it. Why? Let me just explain
because
that.
they don't want people going out to the bars. They want people at home watching. Right?
Yes.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least for the in-market games, right? The problem is NFL Sunday Ticket is a complete contradiction to the NFL's media rights deals with CBS and Fox. Like they're almost undercutting them by selling a product like that in the first place. Why? Because you're incentivizing people from all across the country to watch games that are not in their local markets. And the problem is that when Fox and CBS say, okay, how many people are tuning in to watch the in-market games, like a local game? Okay, we're not talking about nationally televised games.
Gotcha.
A local game.
We'll take Washington for an example.
Sure, we're in Northern Virginia. We're in market, right? So if the Redskins are playing locally, Commanders, whatever, are playing locally, that's our in-market game. Okay, we can't watch that on Sunday Ticket, and that is a blackout restriction. That's what a blackout restriction is. Why? Yep. Because they're like, hey, Edwin, Omar, you guys live in Northern Virginia. Why are you tuning in using Sunday Ticket? You should turn on your local television station and watch it so we can get the advertising revenue for it, right? We want to say that we are getting ratings on our local TV stations.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah, and if someone tunes in using Sunday Ticket to watch the game,
it undercuts them, like you said.
Yes, they don't get counted in the Nielsen ratings for that game. So all of a sudden, when you're going to local businesses, let's say in Northern Virginia where we are, and you're saying, hey guys, like, we're selling advertisements. Like we're going to give you, we're going to give our local TV station the right to play this game. Okay. Let's say I'm Fox. We go to the local TV station. We're going to say, we're going to partner with you. You're going to help us actually like broadcast the game locally here because we don't have the infrastructure. Okay. And here's the agreement that they make. They say, look, you're the local TV station. This is going to help you out a lot, man. People are going to tune into your channel and they're going to watch. And guess what? Now you can go to local businesses in your area and you can sell ads to them. You could say, hey, that dealership across the street. Hey, that sports bar across the street.
Okay. Makes
Pay
complete
me
sense.
money.
Yeah.
You get an advertisement next to an NFL game.
Yeah.
Right?
That explains a bunch of commercials, by the way. Yes.
Yeah. But here's the interesting thing. People who tune in using Sunday Ticket don't see those ads at all.
Okay, so what do they see?
They see a combination of the national ads that the broadcasters sell, like Nike, Coca-Cola, Geico, like the big boys who can afford.
It's bad for business.
Yeah.
It's bad for business. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
I completely understand it now.
And the final point I want to make is that imagine if you tell a local advertiser like, hey, by the way, actually a lot of people who don't live here are actually watching this game. More people out of our area, out of our state are watching this game than people who are in the area. So they'd be like, why the hell am I paying you for an advertisement then? Because they're not going to be able to give me business.
Yeah.
Who am I advertising to? Someone sitting in California?
Yeah.
As a little car dealership?
Like as a Cowboys fan, they got a bunch of fans, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure their Sunday Ticket, for their specific team goes crazy, right? But at the same time, I see what you're saying. It's taking money out of like those local businesses' pockets in a way, right? Because it's like, why are we paying you so much if you can't even guarantee us this amount of eyes, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so the NFL is just selling it. They're like, okay, we're just going to charge a higher price. That way, less people do that. But still, people are buying it.
Dude, it kind of makes sense, though.
It makes sense. The question is it fair? And is it anti-competitive?
Okay. Let's pick, is it fair? And then let's go, is it anti-competitive?
I'll let you start.
Okay, whoa. Slow down. I make the rules here, bro. No. Okay, so is it fair by like what are we judging? Let's say me and you are the jury. Okay, what are we judging here?
Oh, man. Here's the thing, man. Knowing what I know, if I say it's unfair and the NFL loses this lawsuit, there are so many implications that could fuck it over. There's it could end up hurting the consumer. But just to answer your question. Yeah, I'll be like, that's fucking high price. I'm not paying that shit.
Yeah.
Streamies.
Right. But they can't, bars and businesses can't put Streamies. Do you get what I'm saying? So
no one's stopping them, but if they get caught,
they're fucked. So, okay, I'm actually going to make the other side of the argument.
Go ahead, bro.
I think that the 10K is worth it. if your business is popping, okay, because I'll tell you why. I'll put you in the exact shoes of 7-year-old Edwin.
All right, go ahead.
Edwin's 7 years old. I'm done talking about myself in the third person. When I was 7 years old, right?
Yeah.
Me and my dad.
Yeah.
When I was 7 years old, me and my dad used to be like, "Yo, this weekend, let's go. I can't remember. It was called Velocity 5 in Woodbridge. Okay, let's go to Velocity 5. They got wings. You know, my dad would drink a beer and we'd stay there and watch like 3 or 4 games. We're from here, right? But we're going to watch the at the time Redskins game over there, right? So that's it. That's a direct example of what you're talking about. Where we're there watching the Sunday ticket version of it, right? Or are we not?
Well, if you're going to a local bar, then no, because they have access to it via normal television.
Okay, so they're using the normal.
But let's say they're playing another game next to it. This is like fucking Green Bay versus Seattle. I don't know, some random ass game, and they have that right next to it. That's Sunday ticket. That would be Sunday.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, my point in saying it's from the business's perspective.
Sure.
Like if it wasn't for that, you know, we wouldn't be there. We order pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that's exactly what it is. So it's like you guys would get no business if you didn't have these games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're
so
completely
at the same
right.
time,
yeah, you're completely right.
You know, we would definitely there was definitely that incentive. It's like we get to watch all the games if we go.
Exactly.
You
there
know?
You go. There you go.
So it's like
there you go.
I don't know, bro. I kind of think 10,000's I'm not gonna say it's light, but
for a restaurant,
if you're a sports bar,
they're not that. It's a low margin business, man. They don't make that much money.
Of course, I get it.
They hustle, bro.
Of course,
margins are tight
for sure.
Yeah.
Then sorry, I don't know. Like I get it.
That's fair.
Trust
that's
me,
fine.
I completely understand
you can say
it.
That, yeah.
But it's like, no, actually, no. I think that's kind of unfair because they deserve to, you know, feed their families, the people that own these businesses, and that, you know, like you're saying, they hustle, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to make it seem like I'm being heartless, but at the same time, like you are at the mercy of the NFL at the end of the day.
You are.
You know, I'm sure they're definitely upcharging them to an extent, but when you make the argument that they're upcharging them because of the almost they don't to disincentivize other businesses from doing it because they know they're kind of shortcutting their partners. It kind of makes a little bit of sense though, does it not? Like it has to be at a price. They're almost like, don't come to us unless you're willing to pay this price because it's a luxury. We're not supposed to be doing this.
And do you think that that same attitude can be applied to individual people like you and me?
I see what you did there, you asshole.
Because this is what this lawsuit's about.
You're right. You're right. No, you know what? It makes complete sense.
No, your point is valid. Your point is valid, right? The question is, and it's really hard because it's like, what is the real right price? I don't know. Right? I'm not an economist. I don't work for the NFL.
Nah, bro. 10K is absurd. I just changed the whole
because it's not.
Mind.
It's like because they're paying that on top of television. They're paying that on top of like access to like multiple, like for cable or for satellite TV, right? And then they might have to pay for if they want like NBA League Pass to do the same thing for basketball. They have to pay for that for basketball, right? There's like so many other costs that are associated just with televising sports, and that's not even like running the actual business, like the inventory and paying your waiters and your hostesses and all that stuff. And so
I'm conflicted.
Yeah, dude.
I see both sides in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a big enough sports bar, like you can make above 10K in that day. When we went to watch the Eagles championship. It was like the NFC championship a while back with one of our friends. And that place was packed, bro.
Yeah.
Like packed.
Exactly. And that's a really good point to make. That's a really good point.
We struggled to get a table. So I'm like that everyone's there.
Exactly.
Right? So it's tough.
The way you can think about it is that what the NFL is doing is it's compensating for the opportunity cost of having so basically it's a great point you made. So many people are showing up to the restaurant to watch from the same TV. All of them could be potential individual customers via YouTube TV or back then Direct TV. So the NFL has to compensate for the fact that those people are not paying those subscriptions and instead are coming into an establishment and watching it together for a little to no cost. They're just buying a pizza, like you said.
Right.
So that's an opportunity cost for the NFL. They're like, well, hey guys, you get to attract all these people to your establishment,
right,
using our games, and you're taking away money from our potential subscriptions via Direct TV or via YouTube TV today, right? They're compensating for the fact that those people are not sitting at home instead and paying to watch those games, and they're coming in person to the restaurant to do it for free. So they have to charge the restaurant
That's
a higher
tough.
price. Well, we got to charge you up, guys.
Of course.
So when you say it's packed, that's a great point, because that's exactly what it alludes to. That's the thinking. They have to think that way, or else they're leaving a lot of money on the table, even though they're fucking, fuck ton of money.
But if they're okay, so
Yeah,
is it fair?
I think you made a decent point with the restaurants. I think it might be fairer.
Yeah.
For businesses, the thing is, like, some businesses are really small and they don't, like, 10K, fronting 10K is a lot of fucking money.
A lot.
But for larger sports bar in, like, downtown DC or something like Green
That's
Turtle or
nothing,
whatever,
bro.
it's probably
That's
nothing,
nothing.
right? But for individual consumers, $350 to $450 fucking dollars.
That's not fair at all.
Like, I would never pay that for any kind of content at all, no matter what it is, even a sports content, bro.
Agreed. It, like, you know how YouTube creators, they make like Patreons and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, people don't. I rarely hear about people charging more than like $20.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like some people. If you were to see somebody have a Patreon over like $25, you'd be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they're asking for $350 to $450. Like, that's not even worth it.
And you don't even get nationally televised games. So let's just say you're like, I don't know, you're just somewhere random, bro.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't even,
I
you
know
can't
what you
even
mean.
tune into a primetime game.
Yeah, the primetime games. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
or your local game. You can't even tune into that. You can only tune into everything else, which might sound like a good deal to some people, but
It's not.
you have to be a hardcore football fan for that to happen.
Just get Red Zone.
Yeah. So
Honestly,
Red Zone's
because
cool.
because if it, just get Red Zone, and the reason for that is because you don't get commercials, 7 hours of commercial-free football,
Yeah.
and you don't have to deal with like sometimes football can be so mundane, you know, like so many little like moments that just last too long, right? Flag on the play, all right, timeout, this, that. Like, you don't have to deal with any of that if you have Red Zone, and it's for what, like a tenth of the price, something like that, right? It's very close to that. So if you're a fan that's even looking at it, I wouldn't even get it. But the point is, the NFL wants you to buy a Sunday ticket, right? Do they not?
They don't want you to buy Sunday ticket.
So why the hell do they offer it?
Because it's a money grab. They can still make money from it, and they appeal to those fans who do want it. That's literally their reasoning, and it makes sense.
No, so that's why the price is high.
Exactly.
No, it makes sense. Of
and
course,
that's their argument.
It makes sense, but fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. For the consumers who care, fuck that.
And you know what? It just goes to show it's just kind of pure greed.
It is.
It always goes back to
the fact that you're undercutting your broadcast partners, bro, it's ballsy to do that. That you have to be the king of the kingdom, bro.
Yeah.
To like you said, they have them by the nuts. They have everyone by the nuts. They have everyone because they have the product, right? They can charge whatever the fuck they want for the product, and that's why they're making $11 billion a year for the next 10 years from broadcast deals alone.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's pure greed, bro, and that frustrates me.
Yeah.
Now, and it really frustrates me when you're selling it to the consumer. That you can't justify that price to me.
Yeah.
If you're talking sports bars, like, and we're talking big sports bars, like you just said, Green Turtle.
Yeah,
bro, they make that in a day. They make that 10K in a day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They'll make that in one Sunday.
Yes.
That's a fact.
So what's interesting is this is why the NFL decided to make EverPass Media. This is why they said, you know what, we're going to sell to businesses a little bit differently this time around. So something like this doesn't necessarily happen to us. We can't get sued by residents and businesses together. And we also just have a more strategic approach to doing B2B sales so they can avoid this kind of stuff. And it's interesting because now we can talk about, well, what happens now?
Well, hold on. Is it fair? And what was the second one? Is it anti-competitive?
I think I said I agree with you in terms of...
No. What was the second question?
Okay. So is it fair and is it anti-competitive?
Yeah, okay. Is it anti-competitive? I want you to answer that one.
Okay, I'll give you a comparison. The NBA offers NBA League Pass on multiple services. Through multiple services. They do YouTube TV. You can probably help me with this. I know they do multiple services.
I know they do
like
on YouTube
Verizon
TV.
Play Plus or some shit like that.
Whatever,
But that's still another channel.
For sure.
And then they sell it through their website directly.
Yep.
Right. So is there an app that you can watch it on?
Yeah, NBA
exactly.
app. Yeah,
exactly. With this,
yeah,
I don't know if you can do that with NFL Sunday. I think you have to use YouTube TV. I think
that's a good point.
I think so. You might be.
So then, you're probably right. So
yeah.
By definition, it's...
because YouTube is like, hey, if we're gonna pay you $2 billion a year just to play out of market games on our service, you best believe that every customer that buys this package is gonna use our platform to watch those games, right? So, is it anti-competitive? Oh man, this is a fucking. Here, let me explain it this way. This is going to be such a cop out answer. I'm going to avoid answering your question.
Okay.
What I'm going to say is this: the NFL is claiming it's anti-competitive, right? They're saying, in a way, hey, we have been exempt from antitrust scrutiny for almost our entire history. How
dare you?
Yeah, it's like, why are you guys complaining now?
Yeah.
We have been open about charging high prices since the start. We agreed that we were going to label it as a premium offering. So it's only for exclusive people and businesses that can afford it, right? And we have not tried to hide anything, right? That's literally. So they're saying, hey.
So confused, bro.
Yeah. So
I'm so conflicted with how I should feel, because I feel for these businesses that have to pay a fuck ton. But then at the same time, I'm like, they're technically not supposed to be doing this. So they don't want a bunch of people thinking, hey, we should go buy this. You know?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, actually?
It's weird.
So the plaintiffs actually, they brought forth evidence, and they said in 2012, DirecTV temporarily lowered the price of Sunday Ticket. I don't know how much, but they lowered it, and they saw a 40% uptick in subscribership. 40%. 40%. That's insane. By just lowering the price, which shows that a lot of people are willing to buy it if it's at a lower price. Okay, so we have to ask ourselves a question. What happens if the NFL lowers the price of Sunday Ticket? Well, we just established that they're already potentially undercutting their partners. So if they lower the price,
being greedy, bro.
You're going to further undercut those partners. You're going to further question the validity or the value of the current partnerships that you've made with Fox and CBS, because now you're allowing people from out of market to watch in-market games. And the local advertisers are wasting their money. And honestly, the only winners in this scenario are the national advertisers, because they get exposure no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I understand fully now. I would say, the NFL is so full of themselves. They were just like, we can get away with anything, and you fuckers are just going to sit in the back seat.
Yeah.
And that's, it's kind of done in bad faith, is it not?
Yeah. You could argue. Yeah. It's a money grab. It's just a money grab. But at the same time, there is a need for it, because I would like to watch out-of-market games. Like, if there's a good, let's say the Green Bay and Lions are playing, which I think that would be a nationally televised game, probably.
But let's just say it's not.
Let's just say it's not, right? And I live in Florida. I want to watch that game, but I don't want to buy a Sunday ticket for it. But the problem is I don't have an option. So this is one of the problems. There's no optionality. I either buy the package or I don't.
They don't sell individual games?
No.
What the
fuck?
But
that's a really interesting point, because that's a potential outcome from this lawsuit. They might have to start doing that.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
The NBA, you can buy a game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
I might be way wrong, but because of the way you just questioned me. But I'm pretty sure you can buy a game.
Because I don't ever do that shit.
So in the NBA, they used to, I'm pretty sure, I'm not crazy, they used to offer you could buy 10 minutes for 99 cents or something like that if you want to catch the end of a really good game or something like that.
There's a of those doing that. It's called buzzer beater or something.
I remember you told me about that. Yeah. So they definitely do that. So that should be a non-starter.
Yeah, because for the NFL, it's just,
I did not know you had to buy the entire package.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's absurd.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why they're saying it's anti-competitive, because what you're doing now is you're forcing, it's like cable. It's literally like the cable revolution, when we're like, hey, you're going to spend $200 just so you can watch ESPN, and you're going to get a bunch of channels that you don't even give a fuck about, but you have to pay for all of them. That was the complaint of the century, not the century, of the decade or 2 decades of cable television. I just want HBO. I just want ESPN. Why the hell am I getting 100 other channels that I don't give a fuck about?
Yeah.
And why do I have to pay for them? It's sorry.
Yeah.
You just got to take that. So they're doing exactly what cable did. It's a cable package. If it's on YouTube TV now.
Nah, it's just not right, though. It's not right. It's just, like I said, it's just, so it's not fair.
It's probably more toward not fair than fair. Yeah.
If the lawsuit has legs like it does, clearly it's a little bit more towards not fair.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning, but this could go to trial.
That's crazy.
The NFL,
We've never seen them with their backs against the wall like this.
Dude.
They found loopholes through everything.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Bro, for the first time ever, Roger Goodell had to testify in court. Ever.
Damn.
Since 2006, when he was appointed as commissioner. Ever. He has to stand in the hot seat or sit in the hot seat and talk in front of a bunch of lawyers and a bunch of people.
When?
Potentially. Recently.
Oh, he already did?
Yeah, he already testified.
What the hell, bro? How come we haven't heard about this at all?
Because there's no, it's not, I don't know if it's not open press. It's not yet. But if there's a jury trial, there might be. I think. I'm not good when it comes to knowing. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert. But Roger Goodell testified. Jerry Jones testified.
Oh, wow.
And then there were 2 executives from CBS and Fox Sports. It was Sean McManus, who I think is the VP of sports at Fox. I think. Could be mixing that up. and then one other guy who also testified. And then you had Robert Kraft, who had a deposition, which means like they sit you down, they film you, and they ask you a bunch of questions, like in a private room.
Okay, hold on. If I'm the VP of Fox,
Yeah.
why am I not more upset about this? Why am I not more upset about Sunday Ticket? Do they get a good cut? Do they get any cut? Is that why it's so much?
No, they don't get a cut because because everyone who's tuning into Sunday Ticket is not seeing local advertisements. They're only seeing national advertisements, and they're not counted in Nielsen ratings. So
Fox doesn't really give a fuck. They're like, bro, look, we got our piece of the pie. We're good.
I mean, they're paying for their piece of their pie.
For sure.
They're paying out their ass.
For sure. But I mean, it doesn't really affect them, does it?
Does it? It will. Yeah. It will affect them if they have to lower the price of Sunday Ticket. So it's like, again, we said the NFL.
Oh, I see.
Right? The NFL has them by the balls.
They
can't really, they're going to have to side with the NFL because it's like, hey, do you want our rights or not, man?
Okay. I got you now. Yeah.
They're fucked, bro. They're on the leash.
Yeah,
on the leash. Like, you better fucking testify and
because if not, the prices get lowered and then everybody goes there instead. Okay.
Yeah, and then if NFL stops offering it altogether, I mean, you're gonna have a revolt because people want to watch out of market games. And I don't know if the NFL will settle for just scrapping it completely. Why? Because YouTube is paying $2 billion a year for it. So scrapping NFL Sunday Ticket is not an option for the NFL, or else they're guaranteeing that $14 billion of guaranteed revenue is off the table now. And they don't have a partnership with YouTube TV anymore.
Agreed. I don't think it should be off the table.
Yeah.
Brings them a ton of money. But I would also say I think there's a need for Sunday Ticket.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I think there is.
Yeah.
You just brought it up. I mean, Stream East, great. But at the same time, people don't know about Stream East.
Go to Buff Streams, guys. Not
yeah. There's a couple others. But a lot of people don't know about it or don't use it. You know, my dad would never use Stream East. He would, I guess he's paranoid. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
He'd rather just be able, if there's one game he really wants to watch, I'm sure if he'd love the opportunity to just buy that one game, you know? And I mean, I was such a big advocate for Red Zone throughout this entire, show, but I am kind of going to go away from it just a little bit. When you're watching Red Zone, they're so back and forth between so many games that you do miss a couple plays here and there where you're like, wait, what the hell just happened in that game? You know, like I really wish I could just watch that game right now, you know?
Yes.
So it's tough. It's a little tough. I do kind of get it. But I do think the fact that you charge people full price for maybe only wanting to watch a few games is just absurd.
Yeah.
Do they offer individual team packages?
No.
That's absurd.
No, but this, I love the questions that you're asking because this is what could potentially come out of this lawsuit. It's kind of a clusterfuck.
That is crazy, bro.
Yeah. The NBA actually does that. The NBA, before I don't even want to dive into that yet for a second, but the NBA, okay. So what, no, because you guys, people have to understand how much is at stake here. It's not just $21 billion. It's the NFL's future. It's the precedent for negotiating media rights deals at the national level, at the trade association level, can be completely disrupted if the NFL loses this lawsuit. There are a lot of things that could fucking happen. And two of the potential solutions you just brought up. One is an a la carte solution where you buy individual games and you just decide to pay for them. Sure, that's fine. That might work. Problem is, again, NFL might lose a lot of money from doing that, right? And then at the same time,
they have enough money, bro.
Yeah, right.
Why do I feel bad? I'm not gonna feel bad.
Yeah, right.
Fuck that.
But the thing is, right? So that's one of the solutions. Some people are saying they need to offer it on multiple services, so it can't just be on YouTube TV.
Ooh, that'd be bad for their partnership.
Yeah,
it would mess up the entire. Would they have to dissolve it?
I don't know what they would do. They would not dissolve it, but they would have to discount it. They would have to renegotiate.
Ooh.
They might have to find other partners to offer the packages. Maybe someone like a DirecTV. Because actually, fun fact, DirecTV made a partnership with this Everpass Media, right? That B2B entity. That
okay.
They still have a partnership where they're still letting DirecTV sell to businesses. So if you're wondering, well, how does a business actually play the game? They're doing it through DirecTV.
Interesting.
So they still have that channel open. So they could use DirecTV as another partner if they wanted to. But now the question is, like, how much are you going to make them pay for the rights? And how do you split? How do you just, right?
Like you just said, it's a clusterfuck.
It's a clusterfuck.
It's a clusterfuck.
And I think the biggest fucking deal, man, is the fact that a lot of people are talking, and a lot of people are saying that it might become a decentralized media rights landscape. Meaning individual teams might have to negotiate their own media rights if the NFL
Wow.
is seen as antitrust. So if they're seen as anti-competitive, if they're seen as monopolistic, there's way deeper implications than just buying one game out of Sunday ticket.
Well, hold on, but we've always.
Exactly, that's what the NFL is saying. And if you don't mind, like, let me just tell you, man, the NFL pioneered the way for this. They pioneered it, right? Since the
interesting.
60s, bro. They made like multiple moves in the 60s. They're like, yo, we're gonna make sure that we're just exempt, right?
Mhm.
In 1961, and people have to know this, right? In 1961, there was a piece of legislation enacted called the Sports Broadcasting Act. And the Sports Broadcasting Act basically allowed the NFL and other leagues to collectively negotiate the media rights for all the teams in the league. Because you have to think about it. The NFL, technically, is not a business. It's a nonprofit, which I will get to in a second.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
also
You've taught me
happened.
this, yes.
That also happened in the 60s, right?
Smart motherfuckers,
Yeah.
bro.
But
Wow.
but the Cowboys, the Eagles, all 32 teams are businesses. They pay taxes. They make income, right? They have local markets.
Right.
They have all types of sales. So if you, as an entity, is saying, we want to control all of their rights, we want to influence all the money they can make, right? That's monopolistic because you're controlling all of the football industry in America.
Right.
That's the only football league at the time.
Right, yeah.
That's monopolistic.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They've always been
Exactly.
monopolistic.
So, but the SBA was passed in 1961. They said, okay, you can do that, and we're going to exempt you from the antitrust status. So we're not going to treat you like monopoly. You're good. Go ahead.
So, okay, is there
there's
anything?
more.
Yeah,
there's
go
more.
ahead, go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry, but
No, you're good.
this is really important, right? Okay, in 1963, they said all the owners of the NFL team said, we're going to concede our rights, our intellectual property, meaning the rights for our brand, for our trademarks. We're going to give it to the NFL. All of us together. We met, we voted on it. We said, you know what, NFL, we want you to have control over our brands. We want you to be able to make money off our brands, okay? Because it's better for all of us together. It's better for all of us to be a collective and make more money as a collective than if we had to fend for ourselves individually and sell our brand. Right. So they pulled that together in 1963. And the final move they did was in 1966, which I can't believe. Like, this is the craziest fucking part.
I remember all of this. Yeah.
Go man, in 1966, right? They, through political ingratiation, as I like to call it, right? Where they basically persuaded a lot of local senators who were dealing with like a law amendment, right? It was called Amendment 89.
Mm-hmm.
And Amendment 89 was basically being rediscussed to define what it means to be a 501c6.
Meaning?
So a 501c6 is basically a nonprofit,
Gotcha.
Also known as a trade association.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what it means is basically like, if you're a trade association, you're basically saying, hey, let's get all the companies in our industry together, like a little club. It's literally a club,
right.
Okay, like a little club, and we are gonna like talk about things. We're gonna make decisions. We're gonna make rules for ourselves so that we can improve the industry as a whole, right? And if we're improving the industry as a whole, we're helping society as a whole, right? We're doing this together. We're not trying, even though we're competitors, we're going to join together and we're going to make sure our industry is solid. Right. So the NFL, certain owners and executives from the NFL were like, hey, you want to, let's put professional sports leagues in the law, in the definition.
That's
and
crazy.
They did.
That's crazy.
Literally professional sports leagues in quotes.
And
from that point on, the NFL became a 501c6 nonprofit or a trade association, just like the NBA. Just loopholes. All of them are nonprofits. So they didn't pay taxes. They didn't pay taxes until 2015, when someone started talking, and they're like, "Okay, we'll start paying taxes."
Deal. Yeah. Okay.
So my point in saying all this is, yes, you're right. We've known, and the NFL is saying, y'all knew. Y'all knew the whole time.
They got a point.
So why are y'all coming at us now? That's exactly what's happening.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal.
Well,
but it is kind of broke. But yeah. But at the same time, my point in saying that is like, hey, man, we're the NFL. We make you so much fucking money. All of you, so much fucking money. It's hard to argue that. It's like, if it wasn't for us, where would our economy be in the hardest times?
That's a good point.
So it's like,
that's a good point.
They, in a weird way, have the right to. I don't know. That's kind of fucked. It's hard to say that.
It's
but
hard, bro.
It's so complicated because I'm sitting here like, if I'm a part of the NFL's team, I'm like, why are you guys acting shocked? But then from our perspective, we're like, these are things that should have maybe never happened. They should have never flown under the radar. And you guys, just like we keep saying, find loophole after loophole after loophole. And it's like, finally it catches up to these massive corporations where they kind of deserve it, in a weird way, right? So I don't know. I think ultimately we're going to see the biggest ramifications we've ever seen. I think that's where I'm leaning.
I agree.
And to say it's just about Sunday Ticket and all of that, no. This might open like the floodgates kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
And we don't know how it's going to look like. And let me tell you, I want to be a contrarian for a moment. I don't know if this is good for consumers. If the NFL loses this lawsuit, I don't know if it's going to be a good thing for all the fans and all the businesses who want to watch the games.
Because it's good to have it all under one umbrella.
Yes, exactly. It's centralized.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I don't like things when they're centralized.
Yeah, of course.
Some people will be like, oh, it's not political, right?
Listen, sports always seem to have this weird thing where it's like, well, they're the exception, With sports, we always look at it as the exception.
And it works really well.
I agree.
Dude, it's going to threaten the NFL's entire revenue sharing mechanisms. Like, you have to understand the implications for not just the finances of the league, but the actual quality or the state of the teams.
Yeah.
If this gets disrupted, if they're forced to dismantle their national media rights deals with like Fox, CBS, NBC, it's really going to be Fox and CBS. But I mean, again, if they're antitrust, there's going to be a whole different conversation about that. Then all of a sudden, you're not going to have parity anymore in the NFL. There's no financial equality anymore in the NFL.
No, that's not happening, bro.
You see what I'm saying, though? It's deeper than just NFL Sunday Ticket, man.
Well, go ahead and hold on, because I kind of cut you off. Why don't you continue explaining that point? Like what, where you say it, it's the parity's gone. Explain why. Because now it's the teams are almost selling their brand more, right?
Yeah.
And the brand, go ahead.
All right. Cowboys are the biggest fucking team in the league.
100%.
$9 billion valuation. They made $1.1 billion in 2022, 2023, 2023. Cowboy, you know what Jerry Jones said in court during this lawsuit?
I'm ready.
He's like, I can make more money than the Bengals. Like, believe me, I can make more money than the Bengals. What was he saying? He was alluding to the fact that if the Cowboys have to negotiate their own media rights deals, they're going to easily rake in a buck ton of money because they're the most in demand, because they have the largest fan bases, because all the advertisers want to flock to the Cowboys first. Whereas the Bengals, right, the joke he was making was like, small market team, man. I guess, relatively.
Well,
right?
Okay, real quick, we're going to come back to this, I swear. Was Jerry arguing, or was the NFL kind of like, well, why is Jerry arguing on the side of the NFL if ultimately his brand would...
Because he understands that the deeper implications for the league if this happens. He doesn't want it to happen because things are going great right now. Things are amazing.
Broke. Don't fix it.
And here's the thing, that we're forgetting the fact that these teams still make local revenue. So the Cowboys are cool. Actually, the reason why he would want it to stay in place, he wants the status quo, is because they get guaranteed revenue every fucking year from the media rights deals. Right? The NFL is getting $11 billion a year guaranteed for the next 10 years. That's recurring revenue. You don't even have to fucking think about it.
You don't have to worry at all.
That's why so many people want to fucking buy a team, by the way. Because they know when they sign a broadcasting deal, they know that money's coming in. No matter if the team fucking sucks.
No matter
what. Or if they get an injury or something. Right? So to them, all of them are like, yo, we don't want to fucking lose that guarantee. Because the Cowboys might be able to make a lot of money. But, bro, we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. We want to talk about, like, the fucking, I don't know, bro, the Bengals or the Cardinals or like, these teams. Like, what the hell are they going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to suffer. They're going to be winners and they're going to be losers. And that's going to threaten the
entire infrastructure of the league.
Exactly. Do you really want to see teams, like, go into the shitter? Do you really want to see a greater disparity in the league because of this outcome of this lawsuit? Right? Do you really want to see teams fucking struggle while other teams are balling, like they're pissing money out of their,
Damn.
You feel me? Like the Cowboys will be fine. The Eagles will probably be fine. The Raiders, the Rams, like people like this, Patriots will probably be fine because
Commanders,
whatever. They'll probably be fine because they're large market teams.
Yeah.
They're large market teams. They got the customers, man. And so that's the concern here. That's the real concern if it becomes decentralized.
Okay.
Right?
Lot at stake.
A lot, bro.
At stake. So, okay. I think now that you're saying all this out loud, I think everyone's gonna be like, listen, let's not go too far.
Yeah.
Let's not go too
Yeah,
far.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
just chill.
Yeah.
You guys want us to, come down on Sunday ticket a little bit? Cool. We'll shake hands there and
Just lower. Honestly, just lower the prices a little bit.
yeah. And do you think that that's enough to come to like an agreement? Because you have said that they already offered a settlement.
No, they didn't offer a settlement.
Why?
It's a great question. I
What
don't know, bro. Why, bro? Because they're
Why?
looking for $7 billion in damages. Like, it's one thing if you're paying under $1 billion.
So now they're like, okay, so now they're going for broke pretty much.
They're like going balls to the wall.
Okay,
basically,
yeah.
like confidence, like full stake confidence.
0
like,
or 100.
Yeah, it's like, fuck y'all, we're not paying you a settlement, but we may have to pay you a settlement.
Yeah.
Because now it might go to trial. And
if it goes there, I promise you they'll settle. I promise you
they're
they'll
going to have
settle.
to, bro. But the problem is, how much are they going to have to pay? That's a fuck ton of money. $7 billion that's like almost their entire annual revenue.
Who gets the $7 billion that you're referring to?
The businesses, the residential household that filed the class action.
Would it not be 21? Because we've talked about 21.
That's a good question. I don't know specifically. I think some of that money will probably go to the government. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Like, would it go to the individuals?
The $7 billion. They're seeking $7 billion in damages, so a lot of that money would go to the individuals and the businesses who are filing the lawsuit. But then, because the federal government also charges a penalty toward the corporation that's deemed as antitrust, they would probably take a lot of that money as well, just because of the fucking government. I mean,
Whack.
I think. I don't quote me on that because I'm not a legal expert and I don't know.
Okay, my next question was, why is it only those 2.4 million people in California, and why hasn't not not become like a whole American thing? Because like there's so many people. Like, why just them?
I don't know.
I'm sure there's so many businesses that have like gripes with how much they're charging.
I think it's because it started in California. Oh, and actually, okay, it's because it started in California because the lawsuit was initially filed in San Francisco.
Okay.
And actually was reading an article and someone said it's really bad news that the NFL has to, argue for themselves in LA courts and the Los Angeles courts because they don't like big business. There's a history there, right? And the NFL is basically playing in the enemy territory in terms of like the legal court system.
Gotcha.
They're not in like, it's not like a company that's like fighting in Delaware, right? Because Delaware is like the most common domicile location for any company in the U.S., right?
Gotcha.
Delaware is known to have very friendly courts toward big business. Y'all are fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're good.
NFL is in the complete opposite end of the spectrum when they're fighting in L.A., which is what they are.
Interesting.
So that's probably why this gained steam. Because the judges were like, okay, well, you're in the wrong state.
Wow.
Shit. That's probably why. It's a lot, man.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, give me your final prediction. Let's get a little final prediction here. I know it's tough, but just give me something where you like. Do you think they'll ultimately settle? How far do you see this going? Or what kind of ramifications? I don't see it going to the extent of like every team, like kind of like every man for themselves with like within all 32. I definitely don't see that because the owners, it's just not possible to me. I just can't see it happening.
For it to become decentralized, you're saying?
Yeah, I just can't see it, bro.
No one wants that.
And if no one wants that, and these are some of the wealthiest people in America, then it will not happen. Period.
It's a good point. I'm not going to contend with that.
But let's just, because it is about Sunday ticket and stuff, like, what do you see, going on there?
Final prediction. I think that, okay, I don't want to make a prediction, but fuck it. I'll just say something. I think that this will proceed. I think that the NFL will be forced to reduce their prices and offer it on multiple services.
I agree.
I don't think it's going to become decentralized. I agree with you. And I think that if this is possible, the outcome will be that Sunday ticket will be considered anti-competitive, but I don't think it'll lead to I don't think they'll say the NFL is a monopoly per se.
Gotcha.
I think they're just going to force that product specifically to be altered. Like the offering of the Sunday ticket is going to be changed. I think so. If that's possible.
I agree.
If that's possible.
I agree.
But they might have to also pay damages. They might have to pay a couple $1 billion as well.
Yeah.
So anyway. Yeah. So
this week in the news.
Stay tuned. This shit's serious.
Yeah.
This shit's serious.
Love it.
Let's do it.
Peace.